Hi everyone, this video is about the narcissist I was with that got me to leave my first husband. I get really emotional in this video. I get very vulnerable with you talking about this man in my life and how it affected my relationship with my first husband. I just wanted to clear that up in case there was any confusion. I kind of use the word husband a lot in here. And of course, as you know, I'm all very happily married to my husband, Jeff, for years now. I hope you enjoy the video. Hey everyone, I'm Adrienne Everheart, your feminine energy dating and relationship coach. I found a journal entry with the artist, which was the guy who came in and love bombed me. I'm pretty sure was a narcissist and just caused so many damaging effects to my life that he is the reason I actually created my career. This person, this very negative influence on my life that at one time I was so very much in love with, so sure that we were meant to be together, and blaming myself for everything that was going wrong in the relationship. And of course, sometime after that, I became a relationship coach. I had studied psychology and communications and feminist theory in college, but I actually went one step further. I went into coaching. I learned more about relationships and men and personality types, went deeper, and realized just how damaging a narcissist can be in your life, and that the damage really takes years to understand, uncover, and cope with. So it's been years since this happened to me with the artist, but the effects are just still so there. Now, I'm going to make a couple of other videos about having narcissistic parents. Does it lead to narcissistic relationships? So I'm going to be sure and link those when I'm completed with them in this video. Of course, always, if you like my content, please do give this video a like and subscribe to me. Your support means so much. So I'm going to share a journal entry with you that I found recently. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm really nervous talking about this. It makes me really uncomfortable. It goes to such a place inside of me that I just want nothing to do with. And I'm doing some work right now where I'm actually getting better at feeling what I feel. Of course, I teach you feminine energy. I teach that this is about finding what you feel, and taking away the blame and the judgment and the expectations, and really understanding what you're feeling and not running from it. So this makes me really uncomfortable. And I happened to, just by chance, find this journal of mine and start leafing through it. And there were sections in here that were about when I was with my husband. And I wrote kind of about really ordinary problems. I think many of you know that if I could redo it again, I would not have left my husband. If you have my program, the ABCs to Get Him Back, which is a Get Him Back program that I developed with lots of clients, and when I was getting Jeff back into my life, because again, narcissistic relationships do this total number on your head. And they really, I believe, can cause you to damage your other relationships. So one of the things I did in that program is I told you that the artist really love bombed me, swept me off my feet. My husband and I were on a separation. He convinced me to move all of my husband's stuff out of the house and actually helped me move my husband's items to my husband's house, and my husband's apartment rather. And I just look back on that and think, if that is not the most cuckoo thing ever, you just don't want to be doing that in a relationship. You want to not be coming from a place of being love starved. And this is what I teach you in the ABCs, is that when you are love starved, you are an open wound to narcissists and people like this that are going to come in and take from you what they want and then abandon you. Now, there are so many videos out there on the internet about narcissists, and not all of these guys can be narcissists, all right? But people can be really selfish. The thing that I've learned about narcissists is that narcissists really don't apologize. They don't admit any wrongdoing. They cannot admit wrongdoing. They will not admit wrongdoing. If they do, it's in order to kind of get you back. It's on some sort of like, leveling type of thing. Like, if I apologize, does that mean you'll stop talking about it, right? But the big thing that narcissists do is they abandon you whenever they want to. And that is exactly what I'm going to share with you in this journal entry. And I'm going to read it to you. And you'll be able to hear my voice. And this is the part that just makes me so nervous and upset, is that I'm reading this as me and now. And you can hear in my words just how confused I am about what's going on around me, and that it doesn't make any sense. And what can I say? That's how it feels when you're with a narcissist. It just doesn't make sense. It's not adding up. But yet there's this part of you that's just like, we should work on it. I know we can make it better. We can go to therapy. We can talk it out, right? And there are a lot of situations in relationships where that work. But again, abandonment, when someone walks out on you repeatedly or walks out on you and can't solve something, and I'm not talking about they walk out and they come back about an hour later after they cooled off and taken a walk. I'm talking about abandonment. There's a big difference. I need you to understand that, because I don't want a lot of people messaging me saying, hey, my guy left for an hour. He abandoned me. He's a narcissist, okay? I want you to take it to extremes. All right, clearly I'm trying to avoid reading this, but I'm going to read it to you. It says, wow, he just walked out tonight. That's not going to work. I was calm. I told him how I felt. Then he made a reply and walked out. Again, I speak up and he decides the punishment. I really hate the idea that this isn't working. That's such an important sentence. I hate the idea that it isn't working. I was into the concept of he and I working out, not going from a marriage that ended to a relationship that ended. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted to reflect into this world. So my ego is getting in the way. I really hate the idea that this isn't working. If we can't talk, or me speak up without him overreacting, walking out, or creating an argument, what do we have? This is so important. Creating an argument, creating one where there isn't one there. Now, cheaters are notorious for this, because they will blow up and create an argument out of nowhere and then storm out for a couple of hours while they go hook up with whoever. I don't really think that that's what was happening here. I think this is a narcissistic behavior to control you and manage their emotions, like their issues, their boundaries. Not my problem. His problem's not my problem. In a relationship, two adults need to be able to have a conversation without yelling, name calling, tearing apart the other person's character. And this was something that he couldn't do because he would just walk out. Here's the next paragraph. If he walks out, I need to show him that behaving like that won't work. How do I do that? You can carve an entire career out of that one sentence. If he walks out, I need to show him that behaving like that won't work. How do I do that? That wasn't respectful of our relationship. We have put a lot of time and love into this, and to walk out is disrespectful. Oh, my favorite word, disrespectful. That tells me you don't wish to work anything out, just bail. Now that is the truest thing I say in this journal. When you walk out, it shows me you don't want to work on anything, you just want to bail. That's your narcissist. They want no problems. They want it good when they want it good. When there's a problem, they want to leave. Now, a lot of men do this anyway. Men will say, hey, stop talking about it. Boom, the problem goes away, right? So it's really important to know the difference between, let's not talk about this, and oh God, I don't want to talk about her feelings and problems, versus I'm going to abandon you when you do. I'm going to get mad at you and abandon you. This is the big difference here. I then say, we may have gone
we may have to go through rough patches as we become more serious. And this is true. We have to get more serious, or we have to get more serious. And this is true. You're going to go through rough patches as you evolve as a couple. There's no rocket science behind this. The longer you're with someone, the more obstacles you're going to run into, right? Relationships are not magical. They are work and negotiation. When reality sets in, we both see it isn't magic. We can feel resentment. And I wrote, learn to see yourself as well as learning to see me. So even back then, my coaching brain was starting to spin and work. The reality is we had a few bad nights or days where I reacted. So now I'm going into blaming myself because I reacted or I responded to whatever was going on. When we went to talk about it, we kept hitting a wall. All relationships entail negotiation. So with the narcissist, you're going to start to, take that fine-tooth comb over anything you've said or did, or in any argument you may do this when you lose someone you love. And you're going to really look at what happened, where am I to blame, what did I really do or say? Now, if you find something where, yeah, I really messed up when I called you this name, or I messed up when I got so overreactive, I want you to be able to apologize, but apologize once and say, I'd really like to work on it. I'd really like to talk about this and work on it. If they shut down for 2 weeks, which is what this guy used to do, he would disappear for 2 weeks. So I was like, am I in a relationship? Am I not in a relationship? And what that is doing is that's tearing you apart and causing neurosis like only neglect and abandonment can. I think there are a lot of ways to abuse a person and cause a lot of psychological damage. But in my life, the most abusive thing you can do is give me the silent treatment, abandon me, and not show up, and leave me not knowing, am I loved, am I cared for, am I not? And it eats on you. I do believe any person who does this to you once or even repeatedly has narcissistic traits that you really need to ask yourself, is this really my dream relationship? Because if they're doing it now, if they're doing it in the first 3 months, the first 6 months of the relationship, that is going to be the rest of your life with that person. That is going to be their coping technique. I walk out on you. I abandon you and I don't talk to you for days. I get in an angry, grumpy mood. I can't self-regulate. I don't want to fix a relationship. I just move on to another relationship. Now, a couple of weeks, actually, the day we broke up, he made a Facebook post. Hey, we're all going out to listen to some live music. Anybody want to go? And my mind was blown. I was home picking up the pieces. This is what a narcissist does. They have a big party at your funeral, at the relationship funeral. And he went on like nothing was happening. And this is what they want to do. They want to put a knife in you and turn it. Now, I don't really understand why a person would want to do that to another person. But I do know that ultimately, in that beginning phase of that relationship, when they're love bombing you and they're coming on so strong, that's when they're their most vulnerable because they can't really control you yet. And then later, when they've got you and you're like, I'm in love and this is amazing and it's sunshine and roses every day with you, and then they're out the door, you go from being on cloud 9 to hitting the ground so hard. And not only did I hit the ground so hard, but this guy walked out on me after the death of a beloved pet, after urging me to get divorced and putting my sweet husband's, all his clothes. I'll never forget taking his clothes out of the closet with this guy. And he's stuffing them into boxes saying good riddance. And I'm smelling them. And I start to cry because I missed my husband. But I felt like I was doing the right thing. I had never experienced such a magnitude of love. And so here I am, I'm stuffing my husband's clothes into boxes and putting them on the front porch for him to pick up in the house that he bought us. Our house, our future, our home. So yeah, a narcissist has ongoing damage. It's really unbelievable that I'm experiencing this right now. And that is the power of this. This is why I want to share this with you. My whole history with my career and my coaching is that I don't want you to go through what I've gone through. So I'm going to share with you my experience so you don't have to make the mistakes I'm making. So if you're with that guy that's abandoning you, if you're making journal entries that are like, these things don't add up, like what's happening? How can they walk out? How can we work on this if they walk out every time? I want you to look at that and understand that it's not a way to be an adult in a relationship and function. This is how spoiled children behave. They get mad, they stomp out, and they're angry at you for bringing this up. They punish you for caring about your well-being or the status of the relationship or where the relationship is going or solving problems. They turn it where you are the enemy. So for me, the biggest thing in a narcissist world is that it's happening to them. They're in a place of reacting and blaming you because it's happening to them. It's actually happening because of them. They take no responsibility. It's happening because of them. So this very emotional video, I hope it helps you in some way, or if you had any curiosity about how I put my life back together after going through something like this. Losing a pet, lost my job, moved all my husband's stuff out, went through a major health crisis, and then the guy just comes over one day and says, I don't want to be in a relationship anymore. Just like that. Abandoned me yet again. Gave me no closure, gave me no conversation, nothing. This is what they do. And they're so drawn to you when you're love-starved. So if you want to learn more about that, I have a program called ABCs to Get Him Back. It's not just about getting back someone you love. It's about rebuilding yourself. And I also have Fem Tools for Dating. And they're both great programs if you're really in this place of I'm rebuilding myself. I'm making myself better. Now, I am now a happily married woman. I have been for a good long while. Is everything always perfect with my husband and I? No. We go through ups and downs. As quoted in my journal many years ago, we may have to go through rough patches as we become more serious. And I think this is really what marriage is about. You go through highs and lows and seasons with each other, but you do not abandon each other. This is the big difference. That is the essence of commitment. All right, ladies, thanks for sharing this vulnerable moment with me. And I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. Much love. Bye-bye.